everyone, hello, Chocolo here, but not for a video review, it's for the December update, yes. Yeah, I hope you're doing well everyone. Sorry I've been a bit, before I go into any detail though, I've got to say a massive thank you to all the members, Alan Lockhart, Stephen Saunders, Sam Matson and of course Scotty. Thank you so much for all your support, massively appreciated. You know, it really is, well I can't say it enough, thank you so much. But yeah, as for what happened this week, well basically this week, you know, it's been a bit quiet. Basically I wasn't very well early in the week. I was going to do the live last week and I was just totally out of it really. I just wasn't very well and you know, I just didn't, you know, I basically just couldn't muster the energy. Sounds crazy when I say it now, but I just couldn't muster the energy to do a video to say, look, I can't do it today. I just really wasn't really with it at all, and it took quite some time actually. It affected my sleeping pattern and things like this again. You know, I have this problem quite frequently because I start work quite early in the morning. So if I don't get to sleep, you know, I don't have much leeway to catch up basically, and it just knocked me out for the whole week. I just wasn't, I was just behind on my sleep for the whole week really. I've only just basically caught up today. I did have some plans for today as well, and I've kind of cancelled those. I just want to have like a bit of a sort of restful day today really, to be honest with you. So I'm just as I catch up and get back on track with things. And to be honest, it's been quite nice actually, just not having any real plans. So I'm not going to do a live today for that reason, just because as I say, I'm still kind of basically all week I've just almost done nothing really. I've just been so tired, and yeah, it's been one of those where it just really knocked me out really, to be honest with you. So I don't know what it was, probably just like a small cold of some kind, but it just yeah, so when it affected my sleeping, things like this, that was just, yeah, it was difficult to get back on top of it. And I was falling asleep in the evenings, things like this, and then not sleeping properly in the night time, stuff like that. It was just becoming a nightmare, you know. So anyway, but back to normal I think now, hopefully, fingers crossed, more or less. Yeah, so there we go. So it's one of them, and I've not even started my advent calendar. You know, I was hoping to do my advent calendar and sort of film opening each one and things like this and upload those, but I've not even, you know, it got to like Wednesday, I've not even started my advent calendar because I just wasn't really well up for it, you know, well enough for it, and you know, yeah, so maybe I'll start it. It's like the 9th, so you know, it's a bit of, you know, kind of, have I missed the boat? I don't know, possibly. Maybe I can do 2 a day or something like that, I'm not sure, but not really had the appetite either, you know, it's been a funny one really, but I'm hoping, hoping I'll be back to normal from today. So it's been like that really, not a great start to December, to be honest with you, but there we go, just the way it goes. I did do a video on Thursday or Wednesday, I think it was. I managed to do one. I was hoping to do one on Friday as well, but I just, you know, I felt quite okay on Thursday actually, but Friday it kind of, you know, went back a bit again, and then yeah, so you know, it's just one of those, unfortunately. Yeah, so there we go. So anyway, just been one of those weeks. I've just been a bit out of it, but there we are. Hopefully back on track, you know, next week basically. But we'll see. You know, it's I feel a lot better today actually. I've been relaxing this morning. I mean, my sleeping pattern's still not perfect. I was up far too early today. But to be honest with you, just knowing that, yeah, I don't know, just what, you know what, I've got some time just to get back on track. Now I've reached a weekend. It's just helped a lot actually, just that knowledge really, not having to worry about needing to be doing things and stuff like that. And that's kind of why I've cancelled the live for today. And to be honest with you, going forward, I think what I might do is I'll just, you know, I'll probably publish the live that I'm doing it around, if not before, at least by 2 o'clock on the day it's going to happen. So if there's nothing published after then, it won't be live basically. There won't be a live basically. The reason I'm doing that is because if I can't do the live, it's usually because I'm, you know, I'm too busy or something's happened to stop me doing it. And then, of course, that really makes it difficult to then publish a video to say I can't do the live because I just, you know, I won't have the time or I can't do it for whatever reason. So it really makes it quite difficult actually. So I think I've tried to do that. I want to try and do the lives and things like this. But to be honest with you, it probably just makes my life even more difficult if I have to then sort of do a video to say there's no live. So I think just take it, you know, as if you don't hear that there's going to be live, if you don't see the sort of the preview that there's going to be a live by 2 o'clock on the same day, whatever, then there probably won't be one. I do want to try and keep consistent with them, things like this, but I don't know. Maybe if there isn't a reason why I can't do it, you know, an update to say there's no live, I'll do one. You know, things like this. Usually I'll do it well in advance, and if I can and stuff like that. It's a difficult one. I don't know what the balance is really, but I've just say last weekend I didn't have the energy to do one then, and you saw like a few weeks back where I basically had my coat on. I was like, I needed to go out. As I did a last minute, I can't do a live today. You know, it's just things like that really. So I don't know. I want to be sort of, I don't want to, you know, well the problem is, you see, if I make it easy to not do a live, then it makes it, you know, it makes it easier to sort of think, oh well, today I've got this on, I can't do it and stuff like that. I don't want to give myself, I don't want to make it easy for myself to not do them. But I think that's been unfair on myself. It's not like I would stop doing them for no reason, you know. It's just the past, you know, I say last week and this and the other. It's just been one of those where, yeah, it was just a difficult one. So yeah, there we go. Basically, that's the gist of it. So yeah, I think that's what I'll try and do. As I say, if I can't, I will try and do like a message to say, look, there's no live today for this reason or that reason. But obviously, you know, if there's an actual problem where, you know, I don't have the time or I'm not well enough or something like that, you know, I think what I'll do is I'll just, you know, well, basically, if you just don't see the live, you know, preview or schedule or whatever it is on the day, then I think just best to assume there isn't going to be one, basically. Yeah, because I don't think I can always guarantee that I'll be able to do that sort of, you know, warning or what have you, you know, to say there's no live or what have you. So there we go. But yes, there we are. So what else is going on this month? Well, to be honest with you, there's not much going on really, to be honest with you, this month. It's quite much of a muchness, things like this. Yeah, you know, it is just the way it is. It's just continuing on, basically. I'd hope to get a lot more reviews done, as I say, but just because the start of December has been a bit, you know, I think the 1st of December was last Friday, wasn't it? You know, and then, yeah, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I kind of was a bit out of it, you know. So, yeah, it's not been a great start to the month, but there we go. Just been one of them. I feel like I've said that before recently as well. Maybe it's just happening more frequently at the moment. But there we go. Anyway, that's the way it is. So yeah, so it's a bit of a muchness. Not much new going on really. Just trying to continue on as before. I think I've tried to sort of, you know, I've tried to be doing about two sort of reviews a week, you know, at least, and then a live, and then perhaps something else on top of it, you know, like I don't know, I'm not sure. You know, I think. You know, a short or something like that, or whatever it is, you know, and then obviously the members review as well. You know, I'm hoping to get that out today. Got the members review still to do, so that's what I will be doing today. So hopefully I'll get it out later on, basically. So there is still bits to be done, you know. So that's the thing, you know. Even when I'm still usually doing something, even when I sort of say, oh, you know, something else is not going on. I'm usually editing a video, things like this. But yeah, it's been a bit better actually. I think I've been giving myself just too much work to do for too long, and it started to get a bit. I mean, so the thing is, you see, my videos don't get loads of views, so when I spend a lot of time and things like this, it can be quite, you know, it's one of those where I've got a core audience of, you know, a number of people, but my videos don't get loads of views, basically. So it can be a bit, you know, I'm knackered after work, and I'm spending 2 hours doing this video, uploading it, things like this, and then, you know, it just doesn't really get any views or anything like that. And I think with my channel, that's why it's important to have the members. That's why it's important to have the comments and the likes, things like this. You know, so it's just because it is a lot of time and a lot of effort. You know, and it does drain you, to be honest with you. You know, and it does. It is one of them. I mentioned it before. I don't like to be all negative and things like this when talking about the channel and things like that. But I must say, you know, it has. Because of the fact that the channel, you know, I can only assume because of the YouTube's algorithm has been getting less and less views and less subscribers, things like this, you know, it has made it a lot harder to get motivated to keep on with the channel. I must say, it has been quite difficult, really, because, you know, you don't think the channel would start moving backwards. You think it would still keep going, you know, and improving, and, you know, things would progress. You know, it might not be massive progression, but it would definitely be going in one direction. But this one's just literally just, you know, gone back 50% basically in the past year or something like that. So it's been very disheartening, to be honest with you. I must say, you know, I do the channel for fun. I never really expected to get out of it, or nothing ridiculously so. But obviously, you want to still be improving, you know, and yeah, it just makes it very difficult, to be honest with you, I must say. So, you know, that's why I always want to thank members. I always try and make sure I do the member reviews. Because, to be honest with you, yeah, it's that kind of interactions and things that, you know, just really sort of, I guess, spur you on. I think, you know, there are people who are, you know, it matters, you know, a lot to them. You know, maybe I'm making it sound more than it is, but, you know, matters to them that the channel's there. You know, they've literally put the money where the mouth is. You know, and I try to make sure that, you know, I do, I keep myself, you know, going for them, basically, I think is the gist of it. But I mean, it's quite ironic, really, because they're the people actually that probably think, well, you know, I just want you to keep going. They don't want me to do anything, you know, specific for them, you know. So it's quite ironic, really, and, you know, and there's probably some yeah, I don't know. There's probably some takeaway there that I should probably, but I am a man of principle. I do think it's important to prioritize. And I realise there's a lot of people out there, that can't afford to be members of things like this or what have you. And and that is a problem as well that weighs on my mind. I don't want to sort of, I don't want it to be like an elite thing where only people with some, who spend money or whatever get the privilege. But it is one of those where there are. It's hard. I can't ignore that kind of support. I think it's wrong to do that. And so I think it's fair enough and to do that. But I do value all the other inputs, all the comments and the likes, things like this, and I always do reply to them. I think this week I've been a bit slow. I still need to catch up really. That's the other problem when you've been a bit off. Catch up. There's so much to catch up on. That's quite draining as well, so it just takes time. So we'll get back on top of that. I've not quite got around to it yet, because it just takes time, and when you don't have much time, it's that's when it's a problem. You're trying to sort of, basically, this is the thing. You do things, and it's the weekend, and you think, well, I've got Saturday, but then Saturday's gone before you know it, because you've been catching up on all these things and done all this, that, and the other, scheduled a live, done some reviews, things like this. Then Sunday arrives, and perhaps that's when you're actually sort of doing things, catching up, cleaning the house and stuff like that. And basically, then before you know it's gone, back on Monday again, and you've not really had much of a weekend, So, it is one of them. Not sure what the answer is. Not really. I think I'm going off on a bit of a tangent, really. But yeah, anyway, so that's the update. I think for the moment, it's been a bit of a funny one. And as I said, I'm always conflicted because I always am thanking the members. I always saying, I want to do things for the members and things like this. And that's saying that it does conflict me really, because I don't want to be just focusing on people that are only in a place to support the channel, monetary support, what have you, however you want to pronounce it or say it, or whatever the phrase is. But obviously, it's. I feel like it is important to me to support those people. But as I say, but when I can, how I can, I will obviously pay attention to the people who do support in other ways and do like and do leave comments. I always do reply to those and things like this. But I think at the end of the day, I've got to sort of, there is a channel membership there, and it is for people who want to keep the channel going, and I do want to give back to those people as much as I can. Yeah, and I don't know. Yeah, it is a difficult one. It is a difficult one, and yeah, I don't know what the answer to that is really, but I think it's fair enough that I do sort of try and prioritise the people who really sort of make the efforts in that regard, and with the comments and with the likes and things like this. So I do try to prioritise those people as well, really. But I think when people are sort of paying to support the channel, things like this, I think it's unfair of me not to sort of prioritise those people, and I don't want to take them for granted, things like this. Maybe that's the wrong way to think of it, and maybe it's, I shouldn't do that, but I don't know. I feel, I don't know. I think that's, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm digging myself into a hole really by talking about it, but that's the way of it really, it is one of those. There we go. Yeah. So there we are. I think that's the thing with. I think that's the whole thing with the membership program. It is about that. It is about people giving support, and I think it's just, and I think it's important to acknowledge that. And So anyway, I think I've gone on for too long about that. But I dig myself into, I'll make it sound worse than it is. Make myself sound like people who aren't members aren't important. They really are. You really are. If you're watching this, it almost certainly means that you're a person who's invested in the channel and enjoys the channel. Enjoys seeing how it's going and things like this, and that means a lot as well, really. And I don't know. I do. I think I like to think that the content I put out as it is kind of as good a thank you as I can give to everyone else, basically. I think that's just the way I've got to look at it, really, and I think that's probably accurate enough anyway. So hopefully you understand, and hopefully you don't feel marginalised by the member program and the members, and me making an effort to help keep them happy, basically. I think, because I think the rest of my content in the starting I think, as I say, is, and there's more content there for everyone else, basically, who aren't members, and it does include the members actually, because they can see that, of course, as well. But there is a lot of that is the majority of my content. you know, goes to everyone. So yeah, so I think when I think of it that way, actually, it's not. I don't need to feel too guilty about it. But I think when I was talking before, it didn't sound like you know, I was obviously coming at it from a different angle, and that was kind of ignored really. That sort of the fact that I do that. So yeah. So anyway, as before I dig myself in more holes, you know, I feel like I've probably dug myself out of it, you know, just about anyway. So I'll leave it there and won't talk about that now. I think before I say I make it worse again. But yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for your support. Thank you for your patience as well this week. I realise it's probably been a bit quiet on the channel. Just been one of those really, you know, as I'm trying to sort of, you know, recently I've just become more and more busy. Basically, I'm trying to sort of, you know, give myself more time to do things as well, which has meant the channel, you know, something's got to give, and it's been a bit of the channel really. So I'm doing probably 1 or 2 videos last a week. Used to do 4 maybe. Now I'm doing 2, you know, regular reviews. I might try and do 3 if I can, but you know, I think that's still a lot, to be honest with you. You know, maybe it'll go back to being 3 or 4 again at some point, but at the moment I'm just trying to sort of, yeah, not burn myself out really, and it can still be quite difficult just to do those 2 sometimes. I say, you know, because most days it is busy, you know, and you know, yeah, it's just one of them. But you know, maybe I should just try and sort of space them out a bit more, work on, you know, instead of just making sure I do one video in one sitting, maybe spread it out a bit, you know. But we'll see. Who knows? It's one of them. I feel like yeah, difficult one to know what's the right thing to do there. But yeah, there we go. So that's the December update. Well, I hope everything's going well with everyone. I hope you're having a lovely December so far and enjoying your advent calendars. Let me know in the comments what your advent calendar is and what sweet treats you've had. Yeah, it's always great to hear from you. And as I always say, always doing best to reply. So yeah. All right, guys, have a great day and a great month, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now. See ya.